There are worse views to wake up to in the morning, aren't there? This place really is gorgeous. I kind of wish I'd booked to stay longer here, maybe an extra day, but to do that now, I mean, I'd lose the booking at the next campsite and I'd lose my booking for the tyre to be replaced, so I can't stay. I might have a bit of an explore when I'm ready to leave, but yeah, this is gorgeous. The wind has died down to almost nothing, very slight breeze, that's about it. The waves aren't even breaking. It is so gorgeous and peaceful out here. It's lovely. But yeah. Tell you what, I envy the people that live in those houses up there. Waking up to this view every day. Bloody hell. I thought the views out of my house were good. Also, I didn't realise last night just how clean the water is. That's the bottom that you can see there. It's sort of like, the brown bits are obviously seaweed and such like, and then, yeah, that's just, it's completely clear water. Don't often see that in the UK. Yeah, fantastic. Right, time for a coffee. Right, here we go, day, I don't know what I'm on, day 5, perhaps, can't really remember. Leaving quite possibly the prettiest campsite I've ever been on, certainly serving the best fish and chips I've ever eaten, and today our final destination is a campsite in Dunnet, near Dunnet Head, which is the northernmost point of mainland UK. Everyone always says it's John O'Groats. It's not. You look on a map and John O'Groats is like half a mile south of Dunnet Head. I'd say John O'Groats is probably the northernmost town. The town of Dunnet, if you can call it a town, village maybe, is slightly further south of it, but it's not the northernmost point. So, yeah, that's where we're going. We're going to be at the northernmost point of mainland UK. I believe we'll be able to see the Orkney Islands from there as well. And there's a viewing point, so yeah. First stop, however, though, will be obviously a petrol station first, but then I want to go to a place called Sheigra, or Sheigra. I've got no idea how you pronounce half the stuff up here. I'm not even going to try. Now, this was going to be my alternative campsite if this one didn't pan out, if I got here and they were full. Turns out they were actually nowhere near full, so I needn't have worried. But it's an honour campsite. There's no facilities, no electric. I believe there's a fresh water tap somewhere, but that's it, and there's just a box that you put your money in. So I just kind of want to see it, because there were reports online that it was closed, but then there's also Google reviews going in from like 2-3 days ago. So how closed can it be? Scourie filling station, that's what we want. Just want to bloody do it now. Struggling for phone signal. It's alright, we'll go to the petrol station and it'll probably sort itself out by the time we get there. So yeah, I just kind of want to see it. Part of me wishes I'd gone there, but you know, cause it's proper wild camping as that, no facilities whatsoever. But then at the same time, this place was so gorgeous. Waking up to that view was fantastic, so I don't regret it that much. Plus having a pub on site, can't complain at that. Right, did I lock the top box? Yep, it's locked. Okay. Oh, let's get comfy. Get some air flowing through. It's actually quite a warm day today. Let's good. Whoop, yeah. Oh, there's a petrol station right there, I can see it. There it is. Second one of these that I've seen. Little independently run place. And it's just one pump. Well, I think this is two in one, but still. But then I suppose we are so isolated out here. What do we expect? Looks like they've only got E10, but never mind. Not a big deal. If I'm honest, I've had to take what I can get out here. The one that was like this down in Applecross only had E5. It had two choices of E5. You had 95 octane and 97 octane. So I went with the 97 octane. It's not possible to print the receipt. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Fuel unleaded. Your card is being verified. You can now start filling at pump 2. Lovely. That's exactly what the other one did. There we go. Just shy of 3 litres. Only done 43 miles since the last fill up, but I like to start the day on a full tank.
Head east on A894. Continue for 11 miles.
Yeah, the one in Applecross had a pump exactly like it. They're normally set up and run by the local community. Because otherwise the nearest filling station could be 50 miles away, you know, which would be another community run one. And if that wasn't there, they might have to drive to sodding Inverness for fuel. So yeah, I don't blame them at all for having them. The electric charging point there, public toilets. It really is a different way of life out here. Bicycle repair shop, apparently. Right. Okay, right. Let's go. Sheep. One sheep. Okay. again. Mothers with their young. Oh Jesus, we're all having a run around. Sheigra. I'm calling it Shagger. Jesus, this is a bit gravelly. Fucking hell. Hear the gravel being kicked up in my mud guards. Jesus. It's safe to say I'm off the beaten track now. Now is that Sheigra? I think it is. I looked at it on Street View. I think that's it up ahead. Not sure this necessarily counts as a road now. Oh, that's something as well. There seems to be two ways of spelling Sheigra. S-H-E-I-G-R-A or S-H-E-G-R-A. And no one seems to really know the difference. Yeah. It looks like it is closed. I can see the gate is closed and there's sheep in the field, in the actual campsite. So it's a really good job I got in at that first campsite then, because this wouldn't have been an option. I'd have ridden all the way down here and had to have looked for a plan C, which is unfortunate. Still, we can stop and have a break at least, can't we? Where can we go? Let's go over here on the grass. Oh. Right, well that was supposed to be Sheigra Beach campsite. Doesn't appear to be open. I'll have a look, because I think I see a tent right the way down there. Right. You're going to have to walk past all the sheep. Right. We'll have a bit of a gander. I think I get it now. It is open. They just don't allow vehicles anymore. The reviews I saw online showed this gate being open and you drove down there or just camped in this field here. That's what it seemed to show. But they've changed that now. The gate is shut. Absolutely no vehicles because you've got wildlife literally there. Well, it's not wildlife, is it? It's sheep, farm animals right there. So if I had come here last night, what I'd have had to have done is park the bike like these cars have over here and walk down there. And it looks like you have to walk right the way down there to the beach. I think what I'll do is I'll dump off my rucksack and we'll have a walk down and see what we can see. So yeah, it does look nice. And I'm in no rush to get to the campsite today either. So yeah, let's drop my rucksack off and let's go have a gander. I do see one tent down there near the beach. So presumably it is open then. Let's make his way slowly and quietly past all these sheep. I do see lambs, so the larger ones, the mothers, may not be overly keen to see me. Interesting, some have been sheared and some haven't. And one or two have been half sheared. I wonder what the logic is in that. Things off. Oh, I see people now as well. Or a people. I can see one tent over to the left, and then there's what looks like a bench or sitting area over to the right. I have to say, the lambs are fun to watch. They've got that youthful curiosity about them still. You know, you see them looking at you and they're bounding around, their little ears twitching. Kind of reminds me of one of my dogs. She does that. Whereas the sheep, they're grown-ups, no fucks given, just eating. Just nom 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 nom, nom 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 nom, all day, every day, nom 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 nom. That's like the sixth sign I've said about not having fires. They must be really concerned about wildfires. You know what, this wouldn't have been such a bad place to pitch my tent after all. This is even more peaceful and beautiful than the last campsite. I mean, the last campsite had its upsides. It had a bar, it had a shop, it had hot showers, so I'm ready and feeling and smelling good for another day on the bike. Okay, motorcycle boots may not be the best boot for tackling this. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, look at this. And to think I could have had all this to myself last night. That is a terrible shame. I'm looking at how clean that water is as well. Damn. Damn and blast. How do I get down? Let's get some pictures. You know what I think could happen here? Early lunch. Definitely early lunch. Welcome to another episode of Strange Things from Across the Pond. There is the pond, and this is today's strange thing. Let's have a look. Right, so what have we got here? Well, this is a can of Campbell's Chunky New England Clam Chowder. Ooh. This came from the commissary on RAF Lakenheath, the American supermarket that I'm fortunate enough to have occasional access to. So it is a proper across the pond dish today. And this jumped out at me just because I'm a big fan of The Good Place, where they talk about clam chowder a fair bit.
And clam chowder is disgusting. It's just hot ocean milk with dead animal croutons.
So yeah, I saw it, had to have it. Also, I'm currently making my way around the NC500. At the moment, I'm on Sheigra Beach, which is a beautiful bay. And I've just watched a fishing boat come into the bay and drop anchor. And they've got some music playing. I can't tell what it is from the distance, but they look to be really living the life. It's a gorgeous sunny day for it. But yeah, that's what it is, clam chowder. It says soup that eats like a meal. Well, I suppose if it's chunky enough, it will, but I've never really thought of clam chowder as soup, but never mind. Anyway, so we have here net weight 18.8 freedom units, which is 533 grams. And it says, catch you on the hearty side. Okay. Directions. Pour soup into a saucepan, heat up, stirring occasionally, which is good because I've got my camping stove to heat it up with, because, well, I'm camping. Do not add water. Good, because there isn't a supply of fresh water out here at the moment. I am really out in the sticks now. The nearest possible supply of fresh water is about 1.5 miles up the hill. It is ring pull as well, which is good because I don't have a tin opener with me. Yeah, oh, this looks good. I've never tried clam chowder before. It could be interesting. I've stopped here, decided to have a bit of an early lunch, and I thought, yeah, why not do something strange and from across the pond whilst I'm at it. Right, let's have a bit of a deeper look. So, nutritional information going up on the screen somewhere, and ingredients are clam stock. Okay, good start for clam chowder. Potatoes, clams. I mean, just those three straight away. Perfect. I was all ready to say, you know, it's clam chowder that doesn't contain clams, but whatever, there it is. Vegetable oil, which is corn, canola and or soybean oil. Celery contains less than 2% of modified food starch, water, wheat flour, salt, monosodium glutamate, soy protein concentrate, sugar, onions with 2 qualifying marks next to it. Okay. Spices, sodium phosphate, natural flavouring, disodium ionosinate, disodium guanylate, succinic acid, butter with 2 stars next to it as well, buttermilk, soy sauce, which is soybeans, wheat and salt, enzyme modified butter, whey protein concentrate, non-fat milk, whey, soy lecithin and milk fat. Oh, the qualifying marks mean they're dried, so it's dried onions and dried butter. How do you dry butter? Is it still butter if it's dried? Discuss that in the comments. Right, well, apart from the long list of chemicals, that's pretty much what I would expect from clam chowder. You know, stock, potatoes, clams. Yeah, I imagine all this other stuff is just for American palates and a bit of preservatives, so yeah. Right, the instructions are simple. Heat it up in a pan and eat it. So let's do that. That's what it looks like out the tin. Pretty much what I was expecting. It looks very similar to the picture on the tin. Let's just pour it out. You know what? That actually looks really good. Yeah, I haven't even heated it up yet, but I can see, look, you've got chunks of potato in it, chunks of clam. Yeah, it's all there. That's great, is that? Yeah, let's get a bit of it. I won't eat it yet, but let's do a sniff test. So it smells like tinned soup. There's a quite distinct smell to tinned soups. Doesn't seem to matter what flavour you get, they will all have roughly the same smell. Is it? You know, it's kind of like an undercurrent of smell. They do smell different from each other, depending on what's in them, but they always have, you know, one similarity to them. So, but yeah, but that's about all I'm picking up. I'll try it once more. Yeah, smells of tinned soup. That's all I'm getting from it. Hints of like seafood, possibly clam, or possibly just generic seafood. It is tinned after all, but yeah, that's what I'm getting from it. Tell you what, since it's tinned, we'll lick the lid, shall we, before we cook it. Alright, I think this is going to be good once we get it heated up. The flavour, even cold, and licking it off the lid, is, well, seafood. Kind of like a seafood medley that I once made a fish pie out of. That's what it smells of. That's what it tastes of. We're not talking, you know, like salmon and cod and haddock and such like. You know, we're talking shellfish like cockles and that sort of thing. Nice. Sort of stuff I do like to eat. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. Right. Attach me gas bottle. Go. Pop that on there. Right. and enjoy the scenery whilst we wait for it to cook. Oh, I think the sheep want some. They're making their way over. I don't know if you'll like it, it's not grass. Alright, that'll do. Let's eat. Okay, so this is the finished product, you could say. Obviously it doesn't really look any different to when it first came out of the tin. It's not gonna, I'm not really cooking, I'm heating, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, that is nice. That is definitely a thick soup. I think it's a soup that eats like a meal is what it said on the packet. They're not lying. That's so going to keep me going for the rest of the day is this. Let's give it a sniff test. Alright, yeah, the smell has changed. Before, it just smelled like generic canned soup. Kind of like potato soup more than anything else. Now that I've had a minute or two to think about it. Now though, very strong seafood scent to it. Yeah, definitely seafood. And like I say, it's, you know, clams, cockles, that sort of fish, you know, small shellfish, you know, rather than, you know, what most people think of, like salmon and cod and haddock and such like, you know, the popular ones. Yeah, that's what it smells of. Appearance wise, I mean, I can see, yeah, the chunks of potato in there. I can see chunks of clam in there as well. But it looks like a nice thick chunky soup. Yeah. Right, let's get it in my gob, see what it tastes like, shall we? Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. Let's have another mouthful quick. Yeah, no complaints there. It's definitely a creamy base sauce, even though the ingredients didn't really list much in the way of cream and milk. They listed buttermilk and non-fat milk, but yeah, but it's definitely creamy. The potatoes are there, but they're only subtly affecting the flavour, you know, just enough so that I know there's potato there. The majority of it is the clam coming through, that sort of slightly salty but very fishy flavour to it. The texture, I'd say the meaty bits are a little chewy, but they're not going to be very chewy because this has already been cooked once in the tin and then reheated, so that's what you get. But the potatoes, if you overcook potatoes, they turn to mush, but they haven't. They've still got a little bit of firmness to them, which is nice. It's very nice. Let's have another gobful. The main ingredients, the clam and the potato, are working perfectly together. It's really good. That is lovely. There's not much else in the way of flavour coming through. For all those ingredients that are listed, the main things are clam stock, potatoes and clams. That's all I'm getting, but it is working very nice. Yeah, I like it. Only thing I will do, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. That's the only thing I feel like it's missing. The right amount of pepper I found as well doesn't necessarily change a flavour, but amplifies it. If you don't believe me, use a small amount of black pepper on fresh strawberries. Let's see what happens. See what that's done to it. perfect. Yeah, a little bit of pepperiness, but other than that, perfect. Yeah, gorgeous. Right, I'm gonna knock the camera off because the battery is going, and I've left the spare batteries on the bike, which is half a mile away at the moment. And then once I've eaten it, we'll do conclusions. But this is gorgeous. That was Campbell's chunky New England clam chowder that I've just had in Scotland. Original Scotland, old Scotland. Anyway, that was actually really good. I'm not sure I could have made better myself at home, and I can cook when I want to. I am actually a pretty damn good cook. But yeah, that was great. Let's see, you didn't need to add water. It was nice, thick, creamy soup to begin with. Plenty of potato in there. It's a good hearty meal. It's definitely going to keep me going the rest of the day. It's a decent sized can as well. It's bigger than, say, a regular tin of beans. You know, that is quite a chunky can that you get there. It doesn't look it, but it's at least a size up. But yeah, all that potato in there to keep you going. The clam really coming through with that sort of fishy saltiness that they bring. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, the only thing somewhat uninspiring about it is the smell. It smells just like regular tinned soup, but I think that's just what tinned soup smells like. There's no getting away from it. Once you've cooked it, the smell changes a bit and you can smell the clam coming through, but yeah, the taste is the main thing when it comes to food as far as I'm concerned, and that was great. The only thing it could benefit from is more pepper. If you're going to try it, and I highly recommend you do, if you're going to try it, add a bit of pepper to it. It really helps bring out the flavour, just that little bit of pepperiness. It's gorgeous, very good. So yeah, New England clam chowder, highly recommend. Next month, I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do. I've got a fair bit saved up, but as I said, right now I'm on the north coast of Scotland, working my way around the NC500. Off it goes. So I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'll leave you with that view, and I'll see you next month. Thank you for watching. Now, just before I set off again, I thought I'd come and have a look in this graveyard. I've seen a few like this on my travels. They're walled off, presumably just to protect them from, you know, the elements a little bit, you know, especially when there's people in here, try and keep it nice. And I assumed it would be very old, and for the people of the village at the top of Sheigra and maybe a few other surrounding villages. Now, bits of it look old. The wall around the outside is very old. That shed, which presumably has like lawnmowers and stuff in it for maintaining all this grass, looks very old as well. But not a single one of these gravestones does. There's one over there that looks to be the oldest one in here, but it doesn't look that old. Every one of these gravestones looks brand new. And only half of this cemetery has actually been used. I mean, it looks like they're starting to use the other half of it, but yeah, I don't get what's going on. I'm walking down now, and the majority of these graves have been erected in the last 10 years. Oh, there's one here for 2004, 2008. Right. Now, we're getting older as we go back, but still, they all look to be new. I can only assume they have all been replaced at some point. Whether there was a drive in the community to replace them all and keep them all looking nice. But then this one here, looks very old. That's dated 1989. That one's not new. That one hasn't been replaced. It looks like they've buried the chap's wife just recently, in April of 2025, next to him. You can see where the ground's been freshly dug. But that may be the oldest gravestone in here. We'll go right to the back. Yeah, the one there, 1985. But that's a brand new gravestone. So either people out here renew gravestones on a regular basis, or there's been some sort of recent push to replace them all in one go. But even still, none of these are that old. 1983, 1984. I suppose it could, at some point, have been absolutely ram-packed. And what they've done is taken all the old gravestones away. But again, I'm not sure I believe that either. Because you just don't do that. You would expand the gravesite. There's plenty of space to do it. And not even half of it has been used, so... Oh, this one here, 1981. Young lad who was only 17. Died in a drowning accident. Jesus. And then this one here. Someone's left an unopened can of Tennant's Lager. Okay. Fair play. Wonder how long that's been there. Yeah, 1980. I don't think I've seen one pre-1980. So either this was only opened in 1980, or there's some other history that I'm missing. But yeah, interesting place. Right, let's wander off and see where we end up next. Let's carry on. So, first task, ride out of this valley and get some phone signal so I can set the sat-nav going again. And then it's on to Dunnet. Not sure how far it is to Dunnet. I think about 100 miles, maybe a little more. So we're obviously not going to do it all in one go. I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff along the way that I want to stop and take a picture of. But what did I do with that tin? I had the tin of clam chowder that I've just eaten. Oh fuck, it's there. It's still on the bike. Almost forgot. I don't want to litter up half of Scotland. There we go. Right. That's a chunk of weight lost. Oh. Normally on these trips, the bike gets gradually lighter as I go. Certainly did the last time, because I had an entire supply of food with me, as in I'd taken enough food for every single day. This time I only brought some for a couple of nights, just in case. So far I haven't really needed it. I've only been eating it because it's there, and I'm trying to shed a bit of weight. I mean, the caravan site tonight has a cafe, I believe. I may or may not take advantage of it, because I've still got 2 meals worth of food with me. And then the one tomorrow night is back in Inverness, which I know I can get food at. I got a takeaway delivered on the first night I was there, so I definitely don't need anything for that site. And the following day I'm back at my parents and I know they've got food. So yeah, it's not much weight, but I am slowly shedding it, which is nice. It's nice not to have to carry so much. We'll ride out of here back to the main road, then go for the sat-nav. I might well get signal up here. Oh, come on bike, you can do it. Oh, there we go. That is the torque that a V-twin gives you. Oh, now. Where did I go? It wasn't down there. No. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I remember now, because I remember seeing all these bloody cars and wondering what they were all doing here. Why are they all here? John Muir Trust. I guess it's just a... It says it's a voluntary car park, so choose whether you pay. I'm guessing people just go hiking through the valley or something. Oh, past the sheep. Someone's building a home up there. Pretty cool. Thank you. Give her a wave. I don't think there's any more sheep to worry about. There's not really much in the way of traffic either. You know, having done this trip, I've done as much as I have, I kind of get why people want adventure bikes for this sort of thing. This is what they're designed for. But I still don't want one. And I still see far too many people kitted out to the nines, like they're off to fucking ride to Cambodia and back or something. What's down there? Oh yeah, 'cause we came past this thing. If that's a phone mast, I must have signal now. Let's stop and have a look. The Scottish 4G infill site. What does that say about it then? Let's just back. Scottish Government and Scottish Futures Trust have worked in partnership to develop the Scottish 4G infill programme, known as S4GI. The S4GI programme's objective is to deliver 4G LTE infrastructure and services to not spots in Scotland, and is backed with up to £25 million, which includes £10 million from the European Regional Development Fund, or ERDF, to support activity in the Highlands and Islands region of Scotland. Oh, look at that. No wonder they voted to remain in the EU. It's, yeah, it's a good thing for them to have. Let's just pause there. Let's see if we have signal. We do, we have 4G. It's not very strong considering I'm under the mast, but you know, whatever.
Head east.
I was right, 101 mile, 3 hours, 7 minutes. Obviously it's going to take us longer than that.
This route avoids a road closure in 49 miles. You're on the fastest route. You should reach your destination by 3:55 p.m.
I should, but I'm not going to, am I? I've backed myself into a hell of a hill start here. There we go. I've never actually been taught how to do a hill start on a bike. It's not part of the test. Well, it's not compulsory part of the test, so my examiner didn't do it, because Cambridgeshire is very flat. and my instructor didn't teach me it either. So I kind of had to figure it out on my own. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. You use the back brake, your right foot, to hold the bike, and it seems you would in the car. Throttle and clutch until you feel it start to bite and pull forward, and gently release the brake. Do it right, you won't roll backwards. The only real difference from doing it in a car is you're using the foot brake essentially, whereas in a car you would use a handbrake. Bikes don't have handbrakes. I feel like bikes should have a handbrake. I don't know how it would work using it, but riding around these parts I'd certainly feel a lot better having a handbrake I could apply when I park the bike up. Instead I just have to put it in gear and hope. Never mind. Let's just slow this down a touch. Really is very pretty out here. So when we get to that point there, well, I'll tuck in like that. There we go. Good Audi driver. Oh, Jesus. Cows are out again. Alright, you come through, fella. Alright, yep. What we'll do is we'll stop here. Let that camper van come up. That one there's been a bit of a git. Alright, I'm gonna start edging my way down. Another car coming up, but I want to start going through, bud. You hurry up, please. Right, very good. I'll start making my way down. Are you going to let me get to that passing point? No, you're just going to come barging through. There's a passing place right next to you. Oh, there we are, old people. There's one running alongside me. I'm going to outrun you, fella. Going to freewheel down here. So you're well away from these cows. Stay over there. Right, around you. Around you. Oh, I don't want to get too close to you. Right. Cheers. Okay. That's a fair bit more nerve-wracking on a bike. That last one with the horns was staring me down. It's like, mate, I'm going. I'm going. I'm sure they're used to it, but still. And then the calf that was running alongside me. I was like, mate, I'm not chasing you. Stop and let me pass. I was waiting for him to decide, I want to go to the other side of the road, and just like plough into the side of me. I think this is, yeah, we're going back on ourselves a touch here. Not unexpected, but should at least give us some better roads to enjoy.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I used them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Said there'd be no end of stopping. I think you agree that's worth it. Holy shit. I grew up in Yorkshire, as you probably know if you've been following the channel. Lived there for 19 years of my life. You know, the first 19 years, moved out when I was 19, moved to Cambridge, and I always said Yorkshire had some of the best countryside, but this place is damn good. I think I'll always call myself a Yorkshireman at heart, but I haven't been back there for several years now. The last time I went back was for a funeral. I do still have family that live there, so I go back occasionally, but it holds no draw for me anymore. I just, you know, people ask, oh, would you ever move back to Yorkshire? No, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, there's nothing to really draw me back there. Yeah, I think living in Yorkshire is something that will just forever exist only in my memory now. I do, however, like the idea of being up here. Not completely sold on it. I'm not just going to go home and immediately start selling the house to move up here, but it is very nice. I think what I always used to like about Yorkshire was the wilderness, the dales, you know, the rural areas, which parts of them look a lot like this. They're just massive open wilderness, and it's so gorgeous and pretty, and it's a fair bit warmer than it is here as well. But even the tiny dales villages these days, they're not like they are here, where, you know, they're farmers and fishermen. Well, there aren't, not so much in the way of fishermen in Yorkshire, but, you know, farmers, not that much anymore. A lot of those little villages have been turned into holiday homes, or they just feel like rich pricks to live out there that do naught but complain. You know, the once busy village pub has had to turn itself into a tourist attraction. It's, yeah, a lot of them are really quite sad, whereas out here, you know, like where we just were in Sheigra and everything else, you know, all those other little hamlets that we had to come through to get back to the main road, I bet they were predominantly fishermen and farmers that were still living there. It certainly felt that way, because we're so far away from everything. And even if they're not, it still feels so much nicer up here. Right, let's get some pictures. Let's carry on. I get the feeling as well, I'm going to get to that bend there, I want to stop and get off and take another picture. I'm never going to bloody get there. I've done 10 miles.
This route avoids a road closure in 38 miles. You're on the fastest route. You should reach your destination by 4:08 p.m.
No, I won't. I absolutely won't. Right. For one, I'm getting a little thirsty, so if we see somewhere a nice cafe, not sure that I will up here, but
Continue on AA38 for 10 miles.
Go on. Are we going? No, are we just... I'm going to get in your picture. I knew there was somewhere else I wanted to take a picture of. God damn it! all there. Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit, I need a picture. Yep, I've done 10 mile again, but holy shit. Look at that! That's incredible. This has to be the prettiest thing I think I've seen so far on this trip. Look at that. Look at how white that sand is. And that water's just green and blue, and it's so clear and clean. That is so nice. You wouldn't have thought that is the North Atlantic in Britain. In fact, if I didn't tell you that I was in Scotland, this could pass for a tropical island right now. I haven't seen beaches like this since I was in Barbados. Absolutely breathtaking, this. Fantastic. Yeah, there's another parking spot down there. And I bet it does the exact same again. I bet I have to stop and get off. Let's go find out. Right, it is somehow even prettier from up here. Jesus. It looks like you can zip line across as well. Yeah. Me and the missus definitely need to come back here on honeymoon. It's decided. Some of this flora and fauna that I'm getting here now, it's like I've gone to another country. I was used to the moss and the bleak grass. Oh, here it is, it's back. But back there, that little cove there. Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant place, this. Holy shit, this place is awesome. French, fucking French.
People of France, a good-looking, depressed guy smoking a cigarette is not a movie. And your sirens sound like gay guys having a threesome.
I can go in lessons learned from the NC500 though. I need to check the back suspension on this bike. I feel like it's a bit too easy to bottom it out. I know there's a bit of weight on the back at the moment, but still, it's designed to carry a pillion, presumably another fully grown adult. Ugh. Yeah. I wanted to keep this bike fairly original, or at least original looking. It may have to get some upgraded suspension. Preferably something that's easily adjustable. That would be perfect. It also doesn't cost a small fucking fortune. Gravel. "73 miles to go." Found a nice spot to stop, change the batteries in the camera. I spotted that thing down there. At first I thought it was some sort of fort or fortress. See that building there? But looking at it on the Google, apparently it's an old lime kiln. Yeah, the Ardniki lime kilns. So missing those 4 holes that we can see. The old kilns. Obviously not in use anymore. And over to the right there is, looks like an old, now abandoned farmhouse. May have had something to do with the kilns, may not have. Yeah. And there's some sort of fishing operation going on now. That boat that we've just seen dock there moved that little boat out there and seems to have anchored it there, because apparently that's what you do with boats, leave them in the middle of nowhere. It's just gone there and shut its engine off. And over this way, in that corner, is what I assume is another salmon farm. Occasionally we'll see people walking along the top of them. And yeah, that's where Scottish salmon comes from. Also, I have to say, this is a gorgeous spot to be stopped. Look at this. There's a viewpoint at the top of the hill. Might just whiz up there to change the batteries. If I can get in it, there's people in it, but yeah. I'm never going to bloody get there. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Yep, it's even more spectacular from up here. A minute ago I was down there, where those 2 cars are. Now I'm up here. And you know what? I think I've earned myself a bit of Kendal mint cake. Yeah. This part here that I'm looking at is quite interesting. It's telling me the ancient history of the area. And it says, when you approached Loch Erebol, which I'm guessing is this one that I'm looking at now, did you notice the land getting lower and greener? This far corner of Scotland is an isolated patch of land underlain by Dunnet limestone, which is softer and more fertile than the other rocks around it. And come to think of it, I didn't, but now I look over there, it does look almost brown, but then over this side, it is definitely a lot greener. In fact, there's a field over there where I can see the contrast between brown and green, and they've built a wall between the two. That's really quite incredible. Anyway, it says in here, the buildings you can see on the Ardniki headland, which are the bit I was videoing earlier, are the remains of 19th century kilns where local limestone was heated to produce lime. This was used to improve the acidic, peaty soil here so that crops could grow. It was also used to make mortar and render for building. It's an incredibly isolated place to make something like that, but I suppose if the limestone is here, then why wouldn't you build it here? It says closing of an ocean. So why are the opposite sides of the loch made of different rock? Well, about 540 million years ago, Scotland was on the edge of an ancient continent that lay south of the equator. The Scottish wouldn't have liked that. The quartzite across the loch was formed at that time from white sand deposited in the warm shallows of the ocean. As Scotland's continent slowly drifted north, thick layers of limestone were laid down over the quartzite. Then, about 430 million years ago, Scotland's continent collided with England and Wales, closing the ocean that lay between them. And forcing up great mountains where they joined. The layers of rock were tipped and shuffled by the huge pressure of the collision. Some of this rock has been worn away, revealing different times in the history of that ancient ocean. There are marine fossils in the quartzite and limestone layers. Remarkably, the fossils here in Scotland are similar to those found in North America, but very different to the ones in England and Wales. This tells us that Scotland was attached to North America before it joined with England. Interesting. And then it says, Loch Eriboll is one of the deepest sea lochs in Britain. It's around 60 metres deep, and Royal Navy ships have used it as a safe and sheltered anchorage for much of the 20th century. Since the 1920s, crews have left their mark by spelling out the names of their ships with stones on the far shore. Obviously we can't see any of that from here. It's interesting. I've been seeing these symbols as I'm going round. There's one right there, Northwest Highlands Geopark. They call it the Rock Trail. It's different to the NC500, but it seems to follow the geological history of this part of Scotland, which is something else you could do whilst you're up here. Scottish Highlands aren't all about the NC500. Yeah, this could be interesting. Yeah, it shows you right here. It starts in Ullapool and it works its way all the way up. At the moment I am there, so there's something else that I could do when I come back here, because I do want to come back here. Right, anyway, I've nearly finished my Kendal mint cake. I think it's time to carry on. Right, let's go. Come on, old girl, up the hill.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. It's your chance to be ruthless. It's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt, they're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
For a coffee, badly needed. Oh, that was gorgeous, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Clacken Cafe by the museum. The museum being that white building up there, which looks like it used to be a church because it's got the churchyard around it, and I can still see the bell from here. Well, there's another building further up that looks brand new, which could also be the museum, or maybe they're both the museum, who knows. But yeah, I didn't much fancy the museum because I can get lost in museums. Even the small ones, I can easily blow a whole day in them. So skip the museum, but the coffee was delightful. Oh shit, how am I getting out of here? Fucking hell, it's a bit steep. A bit more than I anticipated here. Go on, out you come from. There we go. Oh, fuck me. I was getting really tired back then. Oh. You would have thought that you could start falling asleep riding a bike because it's windy and noisy and you start to vibrate, but I could feel the fatigue setting in. My day job, I do enough miles to know when it's no longer safe to continue, and I was getting to that point. But I feel better now. Let's try and get there without stopping, shall we? This road seems nice. Should let us eat up some of the mileage. made it to Dunnet. It's not John O'Groats. I think that's where most bikers are going because there's a lot riding past. I'm the only biker on this site, but that's fine. I wanted to come here. Dunnet, or Dunnet Head to be exact, which is a couple of miles north, is the northernmost point of mainland UK. The northernmost town is Thurso, which I came through on the way here, but the actual northernmost point, the furthest north you can go without going into the sea, is Dunnet Head, which I'm going to go visit tomorrow. It's not within walking distance, especially not after a long day. But that's where I am, and yeah, it feels good to be here. It kind of feels like the trip is coming to an end now. I know it's not. I'm still 3 days away from home. I've got to go from here to Inverness, to my parents, to home yet. But from here on, I'm going home. I'm going back to Inverness, back to Keswick Caravan Park, same place again. And then it's, yeah, back to England, back home. Got that long ass ride back, another 400 miles. So yeah, it feels like it's coming to an end now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good, and I'm really quite proud of having done it solo as well. Well, let's be honest, I haven't had my licence that long. I've had it less than 2 years, and there's been other far more experienced bikers with, let's be honest, much better kit than me. Much more newer and more modern bikes and equipment and everything. But yeah, I've done it. Plan tonight, I'm gonna make myself some food because there isn't a cafe on site, at least not that I saw anyway. And then I might have a wander down to the beach, and I've got a little treat for myself that I've been saving for tonight. And then I think it's time for bed. Going to be a long day tomorrow. The tyre replacement is booked in at 3. They said they would ring me. My God, look at my helmet hair. What the hell has happened there? I've gone bald. Good Lord. That's not good, is it? I've got the tyre replacement booked in at 3, which is about 20 miles south. But then I've got to get myself all the way to Inverness that night. So there's not going to be much stopping and scenery staring at it by that time. I've got to hurry up and get there. So yeah, this is very much the end of the trip, or the beginning of the end. It's not the end of the trip until I get home, but it's the beginning of the end. But yeah, it's been good. Let me show you the view, and then I'm going to make some grub. This is the view immediately out of the tent. I've had to put it close to this overgrown section because I'm close enough to the electric point. I should have got a longer one of these. This is only like 1.5 meters. I should have got like a 5 meter, but never mind. It is what it is. But if we look out here, that's the view there. Not half bad. I can see some surfers down there. So yeah, not bad at all. I think I shall definitely head down to the beach later. And I'll show you what I brought myself. But for now, I am starving, so grub. This smells gorgeous. So this is Dunnet Bay. And this is actually pretty spectacular. I mean, some of the things that I've seen today have been pretty awesome, and I wished I'd had more time. But this is nice. If this is the last beach I see on this trip, I'm pretty damn happy. So, bit of geography. Over there, the other side of that hill, is Dunnet Head, the northernmost point of mainland UK. I mean, technically that whole landmass is Dunnet Head, but the northernmost point is over the top of that hill, which I plan on going to in the morning. Over this way, I came along there on the bike. If we go out beyond that little outcropping there where you can see those surfers are sort of pointing at, and around the corner is Thurso that we came through. That's the northernmost town in Scotland and therefore the UK. Not the northernmost point, the northernmost town. And out that way, past Dunnet Point, we can't see them from here, but if we went over, we'll probably see them tomorrow, is the Orkney Islands, which look like an interesting place to go, actually. Especially, there's one place called Twat, which just makes me giggle every time I see it. But there we go, maybe one day I will visit the village of Twat. I can say, hey look guys, I've found your hometown, Twat Village. But yeah, this is it. It's gorgeous. And I've just been reading, there's a sign just as you come over the hill to the beach. Apparently you get seals and mink and in some cases even humpback whales coming into this bay. It's relatively deep but also quite sheltered. So, you know, larger marine mammals like whales can come in here. They may be injured, they may be sick, they may be tired, or they may have died at sea and they've just been washed in here. There have been reported cases of huge humpback whales washing up on this beach before. And in the past it's been a cause for celebration because, you know, the blubber could be used to boil down and make oil and all sorts of other things from it. You know, the meat could be dried and eaten, and then even the bones could be used for things, you know, that sometimes bones would be used to make fencing or as a construction material. Apparently they have a sort of scaly substance on the roof of their mouth, which can be used to make the ribs in old style corsets. Nowadays, of course, you're not allowed to do any of that. The authorities will have it cordoned off in a matter of minutes and they'll shoot on sight anyone who tries to get too close, no doubt. So something daft like that. Arrest them for public order, you know, make up the smell of weed, something like that. It's always some bollocks. Not that anyone nowadays would know what to do with whale blubber or whale meat, but never mind. But apparently it has been known to happen, and you also get seal pups being born here. Obviously there aren't any now, but apparently you can see them occasionally. So yeah, interesting place. There's also supposedly evidence of Viking settlements up here, although apparently a lot of it has been lost to the sea. It's just been eroded away, or it's buried under the sand dunes that are behind me. But yeah, interesting spot. Alright, let me show you what I've got for myself down here. So this I've been saving since the last time I came to Scotland. Me and my partner, fiance rather, came to Scotland. Specifically we went to Southerness, that's where we stayed, and we wanted to visit Gretna Green. We're wanting to have our wedding there in a good few years time, not anytime soon. Whilst we were here we had a spare day and we opted to visit a local distillery. So this is the Annandale distillery. It's a relatively new distillery. It's been around less than 10 years, so you can't get any very old whiskies from them, but we did a full distillery tour with a young lad there. It was absolutely brilliant. I can't remember how old he said he was. I think he said he was like 19, but there was nothing he didn't know about the distillery process. And one of the things they sold here was the Manor Sword. Quite why this says Manor Sword, but they called it the Manor Sword. And yeah, it's a smoulderingly smoky single malt Scotch whisky. Yeah, they are quite pricey, but quite good. What's special about this though is because it's bought direct from the distillery, it is 60% ABV. They can't sell this stuff in supermarkets. You can only get it from the distillery. It's all to do with licensing and tax and other bollocks, but yeah. So I've been saving this little bottle since February when I bought it, and I thought, you know what, this would be a good time to sit and have this. We did buy a couple of big bottles of stuff whilst we were there, but I kept this one little bottle for just such an occasion, knowing I was going to do a trip like this, and I thought, this would be good to have with me. So yeah, my double oaked ex-bourbon cask single malt Scotch whisky, Manor Sword from Annandale Distillery. So unfortunately, all I've got to have it in is my tin mug, because I didn't bring a glass with me because, well, it might not have survived the trip, and also space and weight, but that'll do the trick. So yeah, let's crack this open, let's give it a try. Let's give it a sniff test, as I normally do when I'm opening a new food item. Oh, you know, proper Scottish whiskies. They have a certain smell to them that no other country has been able to replicate. And yeah, just as soon as you smell it, you know it's proper Scottish whiskey. Yeah. That one is, I can tell it's going to be smoky. Yeah, alright, just get it in the glass. Cheers. Yeah. That's great. A lot of heat, not burn, like you get with some cheaper whiskies. A lot of heat. Certainly don't gulp it, it's 60%. But that's top quality stuff. There's a dog coming to see me. You saying hello? You saying hello? I know. Are you my friend? Are you? Do you want to be on camera? Yes. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Go on then. Alright. Right. Alright. I'm going to have a walk along this gorgeous beach. As the sun goes down, I'll take my whiskey with me. Let's go this way. You know, it's times like this, I wish I could bring my dogs with me on these trips. It is pretty much the only downside that my fiancée and my dogs can't come with me. My fiancée doesn't like bikes, has no interest in learning to ride one. Besides, it wouldn't work anyway, because if we both went away, we'd have to bring the dogs. And there's no way I'm getting two pugs, one of which is quite elderly now, she's 11, and my Romanian rescue on the back of a motorbike. It would just be cruel. I've seen people do it, and I just think it's fucking cruel, you know. Dogs don't like cars most of the time, let alone being on the back of a bike, so... But they would have loved this. I could have let them off, because if we look, there's almost no one around. There's one guy behind me and a few surfers. But the pugs don't go far anyway, especially Muffin. She just likes to be by my side. You know, Bella has been known to run off, but I mean, she could only get so far and her recall has actually gotten very good. So, but yeah, those are the things I miss at times like this. But it's also been an experience, and I'm grateful to have a fiancée that is happy for me to do these solo trips. I mean, they do their own solo trips as well from time to time, and I'm perfectly happy for them to go off and do that. In fact, sometimes they get better solo trips than I do. They've been abroad and such like, and I keep meaning to renew my passport and just never bloody do. But I do miss them. Times like this. They would have loved being out here. What can you do? Well, this is interesting. Water is obviously flowing down here into the sea. So there must be some sort of outlet, river or stream or whatever up there. It doesn't smell, so I don't think it's sewage. Wouldn't be sewage up here. So we're not in England. They don't let their water companies do it up here. I don't think they do anyway. Certainly not in tourist spots like this. But yeah, and it flows, as you can see, down into the sea. I can see it flowing, but it hasn't eroded the sand at all. Which means either the tide has only just gone out, or that is the most gently flowing water you've ever seen. But interesting, there's another one further down the beach as well. Let's keep going. Have another sip of whiskey. I had wanted to go to Dunnet Head with this whiskey, but it's too far to walk. I'm too tired for it, and I refuse to drink and drive or drink and ride. Even one small glass of whiskey, not going to do it. Not worth it. Not to mention, they are actually quite a bit stricter on drink driving up here in Scotland than they are in England. Yeah, when we went on the distillery tour, my fiancée offered to drive so I could enjoy the whiskey because, well, A, I like whiskey more than they do, and B, I'd driven as, the 600 mile to Scotland. So driving the 30 miles or whatever it was to the distillery was fair, I suppose. But before we went, before they accepted us onto the tour, they had to ask who was driving, so that he knew not to give them anything. And yeah, apparently that was to do with their licensing laws and everything. So yeah, I don't know anything more about it. I don't need to know anything more about it. I do not drink and drive ever. Never done it, never will. So, but yeah, it was interesting what they said. Right, how far have I come now? Not that far. Let's go a little closer to the water. Still people out surfing. It's bloody freezing. Oh, well, I'm going to get wet here. Oh, shit. No, I don't want wet feet. Piss off. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking sea. Too slow, slags. Yeah, go on, get back there. Yeah. I think I'll stay up here then, where it can't get to me. Tell you what though, that water looks clear. It's very clean up here. Yeah, I can see why there's so many surfers. There's a whole surf school further up. Which way should I go? Should I keep going that way? No, let's go this way. Yeah, there's a whole surf school brought their minibus and about 20 surfboards up in the campsite car park. I'm still also the only tent and the only biker in this place. I get the feeling all the other bikers that are doing the NC500 have gone to John O'Groats. There were quite a few riding past the campsite earlier, and if you carry on past here it will take you eventually to John O'Groats. It's not the main route to John O'Groats, but you can get to it that way. I'm getting closer to those bloody waves again, aren't I? But yeah, the thing with the NC500 though is there's so much on it, and I get the feeling a lot of people just go for the highlights, you know, the popular places. I'm quite happy with the way I've done it. I've gone very much off track in places as well. I've just gone off and explored my own stuff. Yeah, like that Honour campsite that we visited earlier today. That's definitely way off the beaten track. There was one other biker came down, literally walked to the sand, turned around and got back on his bike. I don't think he even took his helmet off. I think he just took a picture and left. Yeah, there was no one else down there. So one person with a tent. I kind of wish I'd stayed there now. The only problem I could see with it was there was no fresh water. I'd have maybe had to have put all my stuff in the tent and ridden off somewhere to go get a supply of drinking water. Or just make do with my 1 litre drinks bottle for the night. Not ideal, but I could have done it. Yeah, other than that, I'd have had that entire beach to myself. Well, that one other person there, but, you know, that'd be really perfect. Although I feel like I've got this beach to myself. The chap that was back there has disappeared. Those two surfers aren't showing any sign of coming in. And the third surfer is up there walking back to the car park. Keep wandering on here as far as we can. I think we'll get as far as those rocks and then have to turn back. But yeah. So I'll try not to go too much into conclusions because, like I say, there's still 3 days left on the trip. But it does feel a bit like this is, you know, the end, the last day. Tomorrow I start making my way back, you know, back down to Inverness. That completes the loop, that completes the NC500. I haven't been keeping track of the actual mileage. I'll have to look it up on my Google location history later. But that completes the loop, you know, it's the return leg. I've been told, coming back down the east coast, it's not nearly as spectacular as in the scenery. That's why I've done it clockwise, going up the west coast first. Someone said to me, do it that way because the scenery is better. Okay, so that's what I did. I might be wrong. I might get completely distracted all the way down. But yeah, it's the return leg. I have to hang around Dunnet and John O'Groats for a little while because the bike isn't getting its new tyre until 3. And then from there, I'm just going to have to go straight to Inverness and try not to get too distracted on the way. It's not that bad. You know, I've had more distractions. I'll probably be getting back to the Inverness campsite at 7, maybe 8. Not the end of the world. It takes 15 minutes to set the tent up, throw my bedding in it, and go to bed. I can order a takeaway if I want to, or I can just ride down into Inverness. It's only 1.5 miles. See how I feel. But yeah, it's been a good do. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. As always, I wish I'd had more time, but I mean, I've been leaving these campsites reasonably early. You know, I've been out of bed no later than 8, every single one of them. I've been off site no later than 10. And yet, it's always been, you know, 5, 6 o'clock when I've made it to the campsite, with the exception of the one yesterday. That's only because I thought it was going to be first come, first serve, and I might not get a pitch. Turns out I didn't really need to worry, there was loads of room. But that's lessons learned for next time, isn't it? You know, don't worry so much about it. You know, if I hadn't made it to tonight's one and done it, I don't know what I'd have done, because the office is closed and there doesn't appear to be any way to book in. You know, I mean, the site doesn't seem all that secure. I could have probably just ridden on site even now that the office is closed. But yeah, they shut the office at 6 and I got here at like 5:30. I thought I had all the time in the world, so yeah, I didn't see any barriers across. Mind you, Sands Caravan Park were banging on about their barriers and their AMPR. Their AMPR is forward facing, so it doesn't work for bikes, even though they sell on their website motorbike pitches. Fortunately, I just rode around the barrier, which wasn't very secure at all. But there we go. But yeah, I really do wish I'd had more time. You know, every day it's just been riding and stopping occasionally, but just constantly riding. I think if I were to do this again, I'd maybe spend an extra few days doing it. Whether that's more stops and less distance between them, or the same number of stops but spend more than one night at each one. You know, pick my favourite spots and have a day off riding. That could have worked as well. So, but yeah, I've loved every minute of it. And like I kept saying on the bike, although I don't know if you've heard it yet because I don't know how much of that footage is going to be useful at this point. It may all just be horrendous wind noise. There's a lot of bloody wind up here. But I haven't even minded that I wasn't going that fast. But some of these roads I was doing sort of 30 mile an hour, so slowing down to like 10 or 15 for some of the bends. A lot of that is I'm just not very confident. I'm worried about the tyres on the bike. One of them is quite badly worn now. Still legal, but getting there, you know. I think if I'd ignored it and tried to get back to Inverness, it'd probably be illegal. And certainly if I'd tried to ride it all the way home, I'd probably be fucking bald by the time I got it home if I did that. You know, cords would be showing and shit, the weight's gone down. yeah, worried about that. Worried about the extra weight on the bike. The isolation of some of these places. If I have an accident, you know, I might be screwed. And I love that bike too much. I don't want to smash it up. I'm never going to get a replacement that's as good as that. I'm really struck lucky finding that bike. This is getting a bit wet. Let's go a bit further inland. But yeah, some of that is probably my own confidence, you know. That bike, as great as it is, it does seem to get quite easily unsettled going over the smallest of imperfections in the road. I think it's that skinny-ass front tyre on it. Most other bikes have front and rear tyres that are the same size nowadays, you know, big fat thing that just rides over the bumps. But that thing, it just seems to wobble all the time, and it can be really disconcerting. Where are you going? Some sort of seabird having the time of his life. But yeah, you know, not just in the tyres, the extra weight, you know, the bike does handle differently as well. I'm having to force it more to lean over, and then it feels like I'm having to pull it back upright as well when I'm done with the corner. I mean, it's all to be expected with the amount of load it's carrying, but I just haven't been very confident with it. But also, some of those roads were fucking grueling. You know, there was no opportunity to really go that quickly with them. And also, I don't want to die. I've seen some people hooning it down these roads. It's like, you're going around that corner, you cannot see what's coming. You know, there could be a camper van there. Yeah, alright, you're on that, you know, it's a passing point, but fuck me. They all need to be over by a little bit, and you're just going to get a camper van to the face. You know, or there could be a sheep or a deer or something like that in the road. You know, I've been slowing down for these corners primarily because I can't see round them. You know, and on more than one occasion I've gone around the corner and there has been something there, and I've had to stop or avoid it. Thankfully, I was going slow enough for it. So yeah, I've been thinking some of the riders that were overtaking me were perhaps a little bit too confident. So, unfortunately, far too many biker deaths on the UK roads. Where the fuck am I now? Right, I don't think I need to walk into that rock field. Partly because it's all covered in seaweed. Seaweed is very slippery to walk on. Yeah. So, I think we'll wander back that way towards the campsite. So yeah, I think I've done alright. I think if I'd had other bikers with me, they may have been a little frustrated with how slow I was going. But the whole point of a solo trip is that it's all about me. And I've been perfectly happy with how I've all of this. Other people want to go stupid fast, it's up to them. So, would I have been going faster on a different bike? Just wobble all the bloody time, you know, big fat tyres on it, like I said? Yeah, possibly. If I do a trip like this again, maybe I'll look at getting a different bike. I'm not going to get rid of that Farrago, I love it too much. But, you know, maybe a sports tourer if I can get one for a reasonable price. Or maybe just a classic tourer. Big old Honda Goldwing, that'd have been fucking perfect for this trip. But yeah, I've been really happy with how it's gone. The riding has been great. I've enjoyed all of it. Even the really hard parts like Applecross Pass. But yeah, I do wish I'd had more time at each of these places. When you do a trip like this, the riding shouldn't be everything. You should be able to stop and enjoy more stuff. But yeah. I also, when I get back, need to have a look at my gear, my camping gear, the way I'm carrying it, my panniers. All of that can be done in a future video, because I'm going to do a lessons learned video from this. This has been a much bigger undertaking than last year's Kessington trip. That one I didn't even really document, I just went for myself as a holiday. Put some pictures on Instagram if you're interested, but other than that I didn't really do any videoing. Yeah, it was a holiday from everything, including the channel. This one's been a bit different, obviously. So, yeah, I do need to review my gear. Those panniers, I mean, they look good, but when you look closely, they're a bit fucked now. The one on the right of the bike that is close to the exhaust is all warped and melted at the bottom from the heat. It hasn't been getting that hot on the day-to-day riding around the route. What is that? But that massive do all the way up. But that massive run all the way up the 400 miles from my parents to Inverness, it obviously has gotten hot. I have screwed on a metal heat shield right where the exhaust is. It appears that heat shield has gotten hot and still melted the bottom of the pannier. It's gotten that hot that the carrier bag that was holding my socks then also started to melt and melted one of my socks. What's that? No idea. So that's something I need to look at. Different panniers, maybe some hard ones. I mean, if I get a different bike, it's irrelevant. I'll just take them off. But yeah, I definitely need new ones. They're in a bit of a sorry state of those. I mean, they were second-hand off Facebook for like a tenner, so they've done well, I guess. Those surfers are still out there. But also just other things, like I have my bedding, my like mattress, my bedroll and everything, and the tent rolled up and resting on the pillion seat. It works perfectly fine, they're all strapped in, but it does mean I'm constantly pushing back with it because there isn't quite enough room for all of it. So the seating position isn't quite as comfortable as it could be. I'm wondering if there's a better way I could be carrying those. I've seen a few people on bikes that haven't bothered with panniers. They've just had a massive hold-all strapped to the back. And that was it. Everything went in it. They didn't even have a top box, so that's one thing to consider. Yeah, if I get proper panniers that don't melt, then perhaps I could put the bedding in some of those panniers. You know, leaves less room for clothes and such like, but you know, I need to look at how I'm carrying it and how the weight's distributed as well. And yeah, I need to go through all of it when I get a chance. The other thing I should probably do when I get home is that bike needs an overhaul. It's going to need a good service, fresh oil in it, because the gear changes are starting to get quite clunky, which is an indicator with this bike that the oil is getting to the end of its life, because the engine oil and the gearbox all are one and the same. The brakes need checking. I'd say, I'm not sure how I'm going to check the back one because they're drum brakes, but I'm sure there's some diagnostic procedure I can do. The fronts, I can see the pads behind the caliper, they look good, so it's mainly the back one. But yeah, at some point I do need to get those carburetors overhauled. I was trying to get it done before I came on this trip, but just time and money, and then it was too late and all the garages were booked up. Either that or they just didn't want to do it. Yeah. And at some point in the near future, she's going to need a front tyre as well as a back tyre. So I noticed today that one's getting a bit thin. That'll be fine though, that'll get me home. But probably not much further. So yeah, that's been a nice loop, nice walk on the beach. The sun has more or less set. We're not going to be able to see the sunset unless we go up there, which we can't do. But yeah, it's been good. I've really enjoyed this trip, and I'm gonna be happy I've done it, but also sad that it couldn't be a little longer. So yeah, it's been a good do. I'm not even halfway through my whiskey. I've just been jabbering. Yeah. Maybe let's go up here and take a seat and enjoy the rest of this whiskey before I go back to my tent. One good thing about this campsite is it's got full 4G signal, which means I can sit and watch Star Trek in my tent. And because I'm on an electric pitch, I don't need to worry about the charge on my phone. Not that I needed to worry anyway, because I've got the USB on the bike, which is keeping it charged. Still not entirely sure what happened on the road up to Inverness. Guessing the wire wasn't in properly or something. Can I sit on this uncomfortable looking piece of concrete? Yeah, let's do that. Oh. Yeah. It's been a good do. It's not over yet. I still think tomorrow could be good. I won't be under time pressure. They did say they would let me know if the tyre came in early. So hopefully I can get it in early and have a bit more time for riding, but we'll just have to see. Yeah. Oh, this whiskey's gorgeous though. I don't get to drink enough whiskey. I'd love to be able to expertly describe what it's like to you, but all I can really say is it's nice. And unfortunately you have to visit the distillery to get this exact one. Like I said, the 60% ABV. But it is good whiskey. Right. I've walked you along this beach and I've jabbered on for 30 minutes. I think that's about it. I will see you in the morning.
Thank you for watching The Fenland Biker. Please don't forget to press the big button here in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you liked what you just saw, please click the like button below and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it. And as always, thank you for watching.